first one right away. We see a leaping grab by Robbins.
That brings in Tiara Jennings. After Jada Coleman is robbed, Tiara Jennings has been outstanding for Oklahoma. Although you can say that about most of this batting order. Tiara currently rocking a 750 batting average in this tournament, a home run, and she's walked 3 times. Fernandez will have her hands full.
Yeah. Being disciplined at the plate here.
That time just can't find the softball. Great pitch there from Fernandez.
Added a little bit of zip down in the low and away zone of the strike zone.
What's remarkable about Tiara's stay is that even the pitches that are low and away are still in her wheelhouse. Her home run, she was completely off balance and destroyed it to dead center anyway. But it has been her patience that has been her top weapon. The 4th walk of the tournament for Jennings, and OU has a 1-out base runner.
You can see her communicating with the dugout, telling them, hey, the pitcher all away, working away, not too much inside. That communication is important, as this Oklahoma lineup is very, very different, as you see Pickering here in the 3-hole.
Yeah, Patty Gasso said, everybody's going to play, and we're going to learn a lot about our team this weekend. And so sure enough, she goes to Tinkertown here with this opening 9. Behind Pickering, we'll see Brito, then Sanders, Torres, Hanson, Lilio, and Boone. So Riley in the 9 has been pretty consistent, and that opening group has remained largely the same with the exception of Cassidy. Other than that, everything is moving around for the deepest team in college softball.
Long Beach is no stranger to Oklahoma. They've played them multiple times over the years. I feel like it's always a good game. They give each other a good battle. A lot of times teams go into playing Oklahoma, if it's the first time, maybe a little nervous, definitely wanting to give their best. But Long Beach, the nerves are long gone. This is a matchup that they've done year after year after year. This is another game for them.
It's just such a veteran group for this Long Beach team. Kim Souter in her 18th year has done an outstanding job of maintaining that continuity at the beach. We caught up with her last week. She said you can feel the experience on this team, even as new leaders emerge year over year, and that's always going to change even when you bring everybody back. You can feel that all the players have experienced every type of game, real good, real bad, and all in between. That is hit well and dropped into left. Cassidy Pickering continues a phenomenal debut.
Nice job by Pickering, taking that where it's hit. The words of Jennings to her teammates ring true. Seeing a lot of screwball action from Fernandez. Going to be in the mid-60s, mid to low 60s. And she wants to go after the strike zone. She wants to be able to execute and make decisions.
Brito lifting to center. Liliana Martinez giving chase. There's no way to run it down. It's a Brito bomb for Oklahoma.
Alyssa Brito takes this one dead center. Takes it out to left center right there. That pitch dead center over the plate. And just sends it, almost overran Pickering as she was running around those bases. Pickering tagged up at second.
Oklahoma has experience in how to handle home runs. They'll be all right. And it's a 3-run shot for Alyssa Brito, her second home run here at Nancy Almaraz Stadium. And the back-to-back-to-back champions have an early first inning lead. With Sanders watching one low in the zone. We saw Liliana Martinez give that a great chase to the fence. She is in center field. Olsen's in left, Median's in right. Vidal is at third, Dakar is at short. Robbins and Lawhorn the right side of the infield. The battery is Magadan and Fernandez.
Talked about Fernandez's screwball. That's by far her go-to pitch, but she also has a curve and off speed that she's able to work in as well.
That's a good one.
I think the key for success on the mound for Long Beach State, Oklahoma, they have great hitters. There's no doubt about that. They're patient. They know what they want to hit. The way that you get them out is by keeping them off balance. Can't stay in one spot too long.
Carr on that one and makes the throw over to Lawhorn. Great bounce back from Sofia Fernandez. We see Alina Torres hitting about as high as she has all tournament. That rotation at the Keystone for Patty Gasso, one of the battles to watch. Torres is one of the combatants.
Spoke with Coach Gasso about her wanting to experiment, and we kind of saw both of them last game, Avery Hodge and Alina Torres, feeling out that position at second defensively, but also offensively. That's just as important to Gasso. She wants somebody in the box who's going to be able to be consistent, to produce. And I think both of those fielders are great at that position, but it's going to come down to who's more consistent in the batter's box. Doesn't have to be more home runs, more power, just who's going to get on base more. But hey, if you have some power, like Torres,
right,
it's always a benefit.
The championship standard is extremely high. You have to do everything at that level to maintain your spot in this lineup. And it doesn't matter who you are. I mentioned we spoke with Coach Gasso. She said, even the veterans feel that. Jada Coleman feels fear as she competes for that spot in the outfield. Now, is Jada Coleman really going to lose that starting spot? Probably not. But it speaks to the competition in the clubhouse for Oklahoma. Olsen runs it down. And so that brings it to a close. But it's a boomer bomb from Alyssa. She is once again the leadoff hitter, as Coach Sauter has a lot of options to toy with in this, the Big West champion group.
This lineup is solid. Like you said, a lot of veterans in here scattered throughout. The thing for Long Beach State is consistency. They are a team that knows each other. I think that's important as you have a lineup. You kind of know your teammates, you know above you what their tendencies are, you know below you what their tendencies are. It allows you to trust yourself as a hitter a little bit more as you go into these games.
Olsen attacking right out of the gate against Deal. done her best work right here on Flo. It was Mary Nutter a year ago, 4 innings pitched, her career high. She's poised to go a long way today. After we've seen some extended work from the arms atop the OU rotation, specifically Kelly Maxwell and Nicole May going last night in an early World Series type game.
Certainly felt like a World Series type game.
Yeah.
A lot of energy, a lot of excitement around that. I even stayed up late to watch it. Twitter was going crazy.
Oh, yeah. Olsen fouls it back. And that's only compounded by the fact the way it ended. I stayed up to watch it as well, and I wasn't falling asleep right afterwards. So it makes our morning session that much more caffeinated here today on Flo. But what really helped us out is we had an incredible game to start things out between Nebraska and UVU.
Man, that was a good game. Right until the very end, you didn't know.
Olsen lifts it into center and drops it down into the grass. It is a leadoff base runner for the Beach.
Nice job by Olsen going down, getting that low pitch. You're going to see curveballs from Kirsten Deal. You're going to see a few drop balls, not necessarily a true drop, but they just tail downwards. It's almost like a curve drop. Off speed from her. Being able to get that pitch, go down and extend it all the way through, get it nice and easy up the middle.
Becky Bakar goes after the first pitch she sees. You know it's a good game when it comes down to one play at the end, and that's exactly what happened. It was a dive in left. If it's a miss from the freshman, well, this game wouldn't have started yet because we would have been in extra innings, or maybe even walk-off territory. Instead, Nebraska wins their second in a row and now heads back to Lincoln. Exact right place.
And Long Beach early on getting some hits against Oklahoma. Deal, like you said, her inning high, 4 innings at Puerto Vallarta last year. Not used to being in that starting role. I think she's going to have to feel the sharpness of the corners a little bit more as this game goes on.
Medellin lifts it up where it sits in a waiting glove. No issues for OU thus far, despite the Olsen single. She still sits at first. Tiara Jennings made the play, and it'll be up to Sinclair Lawhorn.
There's that curve drop. Has that downward tail, but still has that side-to-side movement.
Sinclair does already have a double in this tournament. One here would likely score Olsen. That's easier said than done against one of the elite young arms anywhere in college softball. Mentioned it the last time we saw Deal, but it's still true. It says how much Patty Gasso and Coach Rocha were excited about this young player, that they found ways to get her in despite having the deepest pitching staff in the entire country, including in that super regional against Clemson. Tough to lay off.
Nice up pitch from Deal on that outside corner.
protection from Lawhorn. Wilson's been sitting at first for a bit. Sarah had 19 stolen base attempts last year. However, there is a live cannon behind the plate attached to the shoulder of one Kinsey Hansen. Run it full. Now Olsen will be going.
Long Beach State trying to take advantage of that leadoff runner on first. Make some noise.
Yields payoff, chopped, just foul. Sinclair Lawhorn has seen about as many pitches as the rest of her teammates combined in this bottom of the first.
It's a great thing for Long Beach State. Great at bat. Let them see what kind of pitches Steele has.
Lawhorn, slow roll, Torres does the job.
Yes, to see across the country as the season develops, those 9-hole hitters that do such a good job, what the batting average is as a team when they turn it over versus whenever they don't, or whenever they're not in the lineup or not in that 9 spot.
Sure.
Because I think it's an undervalued position. Once that first inning is over, 9-hole doesn't really exist. It's just starting off where you left off.
Right. You look at it right now, and she's basically the 3-hole hitter in this frame. So all of a sudden, she represents the heart of the order in this second inning, which is a perfectly fine spot for Riley Boone.
Kinsey Hansen down a little bit in the lineup. She's been struggling to make consistent contact with the ball. Just been popping up a lot of her at-bats. I think Fernandez knows that she wants to draw her into that pop-up, trying to get her to chase rise balls a little up in the zone, go down and away, get her to poke her batter out.
Does lean away, creates an easy play for Medellin.
Now batting designated player.
That's exactly what they wanted to get out of Kinsey Hansen right there. You could see the setup. They went up in, got a couple of foul balls. Then they kind of peppered that low and away zone outside half of the plate.
The redshirt sophomore leads on a ball with a grab by Magadan.
Man, what a play. Catchers probably dream about that play. Wouldn't it be cool if, and then that one happens. You can see her eyes got wide. It was that communication between a catcher and their coach.
Wasn't even that far off the ground. You know, when it goes sky high and they make the play, great. It's like maybe a couple of feet off. Magadan just gets underneath it. That is unbelievably impressive. Boone, no chance.
Love that from Riley Boone in no man's land. She did such a great job of staying on that putt. We've seen, like we talked about, I feel like time and time again, there's a lot of small ball that's been going on here in Puerto Vallarta. We've seen college softball as a whole move away from that a little bit, more focused on power, less on bunch plays, hit and runs, but we've seen that a lot, and I think it's been really effective against defenses for getting base runners on.
It all comes down to numbers. And obviously the home run has more value than a bunt single. There's Boone taking off. And that's where the numbers get a bit distorted, because Riley Boone with one bunt can easily turn it into 2 bases. She'll take a second.
See her call time. Kind of got stuck in the dirt just a little bit. You could see on that pop-up slide. It was almost actually short of that dirt a little bit.
All
but
as well.
All smiles, all laughs.
I think Coach Gasso said something funny because she was laughing too. In tight to Jada Coleman as OU flips the batting order for the first time here in just the second inning.
Hernandez wanting to be a little bit careful. Coleman that last time had that nice line drive.
Got a carry. Long Beach handed Oklahoma a loss, and there are not many teams that can claim that these days. There are still
Trust
players
me,
from
I
that
remember
Beach
it
group
well.
hanging around.
Yeah.
Sorry to bring up a bad memory.
On Oklahoma at that time, no.
Uh-huh.
Not a great memory, but certainly one that I do remember well. Long Beach is a hard team to play. They're scrappy, they're tough. I feel like I've said that about a lot of smaller D1s, but I mean, there has to be some respect for these programs who have retained players, who have built and who have fantastic coaches. Just because they're not the big name doesn't mean they're not great.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you're talking about a Beach team that won the Big West that's gotten more competitive. What Coach Souter's done in about 20 years. Long Beach is one of the goals of a mid-major with what they've built. Deal's dealing.
Deal is dealing. We saw early on Long Beach State, they had a couple of hardline drives at the top of their lineup on that curve drop that Deal likes to toss in there. You might see an adjustment, I have a feeling, throughout the game. Maybe less of that down ball, more of that up. Deal does a great job of recognizing. So does Kinsey Hansen.
Tough play, and the speed of Carissa Sweet makes the difference. The junior flying down the line gives the Beach a base runner.
That is such a good slap right there. Again, the small ball, the slaps. Beautiful, beautiful placement. As we saw with Riley Boone, whenever she slid in, this dirt is thick, it's wet. It's not going to be very fast and skippy, so that's a great read to be able to just tap that by Martinez.
Liana Martinez, an on-base machine last year for the Beach. Just about 4 out of every 10 cracks at the bat. She made it happen as Kinsey Hansen will go talk to her young pitcher.
This conversation here. Kinsey Hansen is such a great catcher for so many reasons, but I think this is what really, really sets her apart is her ability to know each of her pitchers and know when she needs to call time. Sometimes pitchers need it right away. Sometimes you need to give them the space to figure it out before you call time and talk to them.
Outside, great discipline by Lily Martinez.
Best count a hitter could ask for besides 0-0, 3-1 here.
Yep.
Especially with less than 2 outs and a runner at first. Opportunity to do some damage.
Deal's not going to make it that easy. Up top, fantastic from Martinez.
And that's where that discipline comes in. Long Beach now a runner in scoring position. That is what that small ball will get you, that slap to start it. Then you had the walk.
This is who you want up in this spot if you're rooting for the Beach. One of the real leaders. Will get plunked, but is halfway around, so it just goes down as a strike. The bat busy even on 0-1. Back-to-back base runners allowed by Deal. Very quickly 0-2. That's in on the hands. Torres calls and holds. Savannah Magadan, who had the huge defensive play a few minutes ago, will now try and deliver on offense as well.
Talked about the importance that the 9-hole plays. Nice stop by Hansen. This is a moment where, as a 9-hole, you get on base, you load the bases. You get a hit, you might score a run. Right here, it's just turning it over, handing the bat back to the top of the lineup.
Magadan rockets it, and it gets down. 1 run in, throw to the plate is not in time. 2 RBI for Savannah Magadan, and the Beach is back.
I mean, what did we say? That 9-hole position has been on fire this tournament. Hit down the line. You can see coach waving around. Look at the first base coach all the way over by home plate. The Beach is up there, fired up. This is a huge 2-out hit. And they come within 1 to Oklahoma.
Massive for beginning after getting the Robbins pop. But Magadan makes her bid to be the starting catcher going forward for the Beach. They have options there, bringing in Jaden Barajas. That'll get away from Hansen, and all of a sudden the tying run is 60 away on a Magadan advance.
A rare pass ball from Hansen. And it's obvious, Long Beach State, they're not afraid of Oklahoma.
That rises too much. Wilson's already got 1 hit today. Olsen all the way in control here. Activating the feet, taking the whole way.
Long Beach State taking advantage. Kirsten Deal, she's rattled. You can tell it. Pass ball, the 3-0 count.
That's ball 4. Second walk of the inning. And the Beach looks to Bakar.
I'm Oklahoma. I'm looking and maybe having Deal on a tight leash moving forward from this batter on.
In the high leverage spots. They want her to continue to grow, to face adversity. For now, Coach Roach is saying, all right, Kirsten, this is yours to figure out, yours to deal with.
Good one.
Thank you. Hit well, 5-6 hole, we've got a tie game.
Nice job by Long Beach State. Cheering on the one who started it all, that 9-hole hitter. Tied 3-3 here. If you're Long Beach State, and I think we are going to see.
That looks a lot different than the last pitch that Medellin saw. Chopped up. That's Tiares, frame closed. Still, mission accomplished for Long Beach. 3 runs on 3 hits. They're tied with the national champions.
To get really good game experience, if they trust you, what an opportunity here as your team is tied up against Oklahoma and your first batter is Tiare Jennings, to be able to come in and prove yourself.
That's a good start. Kate threw 2/3 of an inning against Nebraska, conceded a couple hits. This looks to be her first extended run here. Jennings pops it up. That's a great start for the freshman Barnett.
Barnett, nice job working that low. Tosses a high pitch, causes Jennings to get a little underneath. Barrel angle set up for that low pitch.
Pickering sends it to left, and it sticks in the glove of Olsen. 2 up, 2 down.
Now batting 33.
That one got out there quick.
It did.
Olsen was ready for it. You see the little hip hop there. Nice square, hard hit by Pickering.
Second ball today, 1 for each team, that has gone straight to a left fielder because they've been perfectly positioned. But here's the problem child thus far for the Beach. Alyssa Brito with a 3-run shot. That's in foul territory, and it's caught by Lawhorn. Kate Barnett's first full, and a strategy of constant change may be the answer for Long Beach. Try and keep OU at bay. Lawhorn
I mean,
rocking
it's
ball.
one that was used quite often in conference and later on in postseason against Oklahoma. Make them constantly have to adjust, not with different pitches, but with different pitchers.
Especially for this beach group with so many different options. You've got Mo Quinlan, who's exceptionally talented. You've got a dad who's been there and done it. That's chopped up, does not get by Torres. Her audition at second base is going well.
Nice snag,
Now batting third
quick
base
on the
for
run.
team, Jocelyn
I'm sure that's been a
Cobb.
transition for her as well. She's used to being on the corners. It's catch it and let go of it. You don't have to range quite as much as you do at third rather than second. But at the end of the day, if you're coach and you're wanting to get a player on the field and I'm that player, I'll learn. I'll make the adjustment. I'll say after practice. I think that goes for a lot of these players here in preseason that are trying to find a way to break in. And if you're wondering, how do I get into that spot? How do I get into the starting lineup? Versatility is key.
Brito couldn't handle it at first, but stuck with it. Some help from Sig Sanders and the second out.
But I think that's an important conversation because you hear a lot of kids whenever they come into college, they'll say, oh, I only play this one position.
Yep.
That really limits where a coach could put you. Ultimately, it's their decision. But if I'm a coach, if I have a girl who's saying, I'll go wherever you want me to, I might be a little bit more apt.
Especially at a program like OU that has a plan and a backup plan at every single spot on the diamond. And actually, it's funny, Alyssa Brito just made that play because she came in and went straight to Patty Gasso and said, wherever you need me, I will be. And it's kept her bat in the lineup. She's already produced a home run today. And there she stuck with it. Made the second out. That turned Alyssa Brito into a unanimous first-team All-American. So it worked out for Oklahoma as well. Heaney goes with the bender. Good job by Carissa Sweet to stay home. Can't stay home any longer. Carly Keeney's first full inning of work today goes 1, 2, 3. She's sent down all four she's faced. He looks just as good in an OU uniform as she did at Liberty. Sid Sanders will lead it off here for Oklahoma as she watches ball one. It's funny, Nicole, we talk about a lot of these programs and developing that family atmosphere and how it makes them better, connecting to alumni, allowing players to find a mentor who has been there and done it before. As Sanders lifts that one into center, and it just squirts out of the glove. The gas off the hand of Sid Sanders. Sometimes it goes your way when you're OU.
And man, Sid Sanders, an extra big smile. A little bit of an assist for Martinez. That one would have been a great grab, leaping over her shoulder into the air, and it just bounces out of her glove and tips over the fence. That probably would have stayed in the park, but it just tipped off her glove and just popped it over the fence. So Sanders says, thank you. I'll take the extra 2 bases and the quick run. Give a quick shrug of her shoulders to Coach Gasso as she comes across.
One of the great home run hitters of her era. will pick up her first this year in, let's call it, unconventional fashion. They all count the same. Torres chops that one up. Much more routine this time for the Beach. To finish that point, it is literally a family atmosphere for Oklahoma with Patty and JT Gasso at the helm.
Number 9,
Oh, absolutely. And JT Gasso actually just got promoted to associate head coach this season. That's been a long time coming. He started it back in 2016 with Oklahoma. And he's really been a huge part of why Oklahoma is a mammoth that they are today. Just his quest for knowledge as a hitting coach, wanting to push the limits and asking why, I think, is his biggest strength as a coach.
That is well struck, and it gets all the way to the fence. Kinsey Hansen has her second extra base hit of the tourney.
Kinsey Hansen getting on top of one. Being able to have a nice hard line drive deep into that gap. We've talked about this field before. The gaps on this field are massive. If you get it there, it is hard for an outfielder, unless they're cheating over, to make their way into that gap as quickly as possible.
Lilio stands in, watches strike one. It's appropriate we're talking about JT in this inning with a home run and a double already on display. The admiral of the offense has to love what he's seeing right now.
It's a tough but good lesson for Barnett to learn, is just because you're lower in the lineup doesn't mean you can lit up.
Especially against this team. That's more true than any other. Convergence just out of reach. Medellin gave it a good run.
Like that pitch from Barnett, up and in on the hands of Lilio. Wouldn't mind seeing maybe another pitch there before she goes on the lower outside half of the zone. Again, it's all about making those hitters feel off balance.
Lilio watching outside. That's a necessary answer for Barnett.
There it is. Love to see that emotion from her. She's fired up by that off speed. And nice job behind the plate. Really sticking that and selling it for her pitcher. Love that battery of combo right there.
They're not booing. They're saying boon. Here comes Riley for AB number 2. Standing in, clapping it well, and held. That's the second really nice play by Lawhorn over at first base. Still make a play, and it was about to be a really good one that she covered a lot of ground to get to.
Yeah.
The exit velo off the bat of Sid Sanders, though, is fairly unique and not something you're used to having hit the leather. Martinez.
One thing that I love about fielding and hitting is the ability to just leave what was on the field. And whenever you get into the box, it's a whole new world. It's something different. You can separate the two.
Yeah. Martinez, so quick, but that is routine for Oklahoma. The all-conference outfielder retired, and the Beach turns to Carly Robbins.
This was around the same area in the lineup last time when we saw all that chaos erupt from Long Beach State. I'm sure they remember that well. If I'm then, get up in the dugout, press, 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 give me an answer. It doesn't need to be necessarily a run, but get a couple of hits off of Keeney. Make her feel your presence. Make her respect you in the box.
Coach Satter will make a change here. Robbins will give way to Jaden Barajas, who steps in and watches strike one. So right now we'll see two of the top contenders for the title of Long Beach catcher. Barajas now, Magadan, who's already got the double, on deck. Rebecca Durazo, the other runner in that race, who's got the most experience in the program. And on the hands, nothing to do with that but spoil it.
I've been impressed with Long Beach's ability to handle that inside pitch to them. Yeah, a couple of them have been foul, but a few of them have stayed fair, stayed on that line. They've been able to keep their hands inside and turn on that ball pretty quickly.
That one skips away. Barajas, the transfer from Utah Valley. A familiar name for those who have been hanging out with us all weekend here on Flow. From one really good mid-major to another. Gets Jaden Barajas a lot closer to home, growing up in Brea. That's a beautiful drop from Keeney. Her third.
That one down in the dirt. That movement is so late, so deceptive. It stays on the same plane, and then at the last minute, it just drops off. Instead of carrying across the plate, you've seen quite a few swings and misses on that one.
Second K today, third of the tourney for Keeney. The extra base threat, Savannah Magadan, a big hack.
It looks like there's a problem with the pitch calling. We've talked about being able to have the ability to have your pitches be called, to have them instead of the coaches giving the signal, you can have them on your wrist. You can see Keeney's wrist right there. It almost looks like an Apple Watch, and you feel the buzz. You get that on your arm, but Hansen wasn't getting the signals. And as a catcher, you can handle it, but I mean, it's not your favorite.
No, there's no reason to do it.
Tight on this box.
After that.
Yeah, Magadan she is as close as you can be without being out of the box on that front line. And Keeney's not afraid to come back in on those hands. I love that, but at the same time, you know Keeney likes to go on the inside half, so you better be ready for it.
Did just enough to spoil that one. It's funny, the syncing of the communication device. It's almost like if you're watching an Ocean's movie where all the criminals really get together and sync up the watch in old school fashion. Exactly what it's like now. A much more noble purpose here in softball. That's not an easy one to take, even as it's running right at you.
I mean, I think that one, I don't know. It might be because Magadan's so tight on that plate, but she's trying to force Keeney, throw it over the middle, throw it outside. I mean, you can see her arms are over the middle of the plate.
Yep. That one skips away, but nobody on base, so no issue.
If I'm Keeney, I keep pounding that inside half of the corner.
Battle over the inside part of the plate. Still favoring Keeney.
Even with that one, Magnet fouling it off that pitch down the middle, but because she's so tight, that still feels like an inside pitch to her. I think if Keeney can get this next one right below the belt line, you can see where Magadan's hunched over. If she can get it in that little pocket, she's golden.
That one just foul. Little elevated out of the hand of Keeney, but not by much.
You got to tip the hat to Magadan, though. She's done a great job paddling. You and I, Corey, on the same page. Like you just said, that 8-pitch at bat and going.
Number 8 for number 8. Keeney comes home. It's not enough.
Long Beach, whenever you see your teammate battling again and again and again, that fires you up. At least it fired me up whenever I was playing. There's an importance to it. You're seeing a lot of pitches. You're making the pitcher throw, but also you increase your chances.
Magadan's going to run it to double figures. How about this start to the ball game for Savannah Magadan? A 2 RBI double. And now a 10-pitch at-bat against one of the winningest pitchers in college softball last year.
You got to tip your hat to her, taking a different approach. She has been battling. Keeney can't quite seem to find that height location to get that swing and miss. But it's clear she wants to pound that outside. Anything on that outside corner is down the middle to her. Look at her feet compared to the plate in the box.
Straight to Keeney, and she ends it. But Savannah Magadan having an outstanding day.
Top of the order for the Sooners, center fielder Jada Coleman.
Coleman laying down the bunt straight back. One quick defensive note for you. Re-enter Robbins. She takes back over at second base. Coleman straight up. Medellin calls, and she's got it. So this begins the second time around against the freshman Barnett.
Now batting,
And I think from here, we're going to start to see her switch up what she's been throwing. Not too much, because it's been effective. Just a little bit. Because this Oklahoma team, they adjust quickly. So being able to keep them off balance, I said it at the very beginning of the game, being able to keep these hitters off balance isn't just changing your pitches, but also changing the eye level as well.
This was the best run in the order, though, and that helps the cause. Magadan holds 2-3-4 when a combined 0 for 3 against Barnett. And so far, she's sent down 4 in a row.
You're seeing Oklahoma swing early in the count, getting quick outs. Barnett going up and in on the hands of all of these hitters, both lefty and righty.
Barnett's only thrown about 20 pitches in this game, nearing her third full inning complete. Pickering sends that one over to Lawhorn. How about Kate Barnett handling the top of the order? Her second time through.
Everything that you do as far as game plan and making those adjustments, you're doing it right. And then second, not being afraid, just playing loose, playing your game. I think that's the most important thing that you see with teams is they try to play to a certain expectation or a different style. You play your game, and you're likely going to get the best outcome for your team.
Especially when so many of these players have been around long enough. They don't have to visualize in their mind beating OU. They've seen it firsthand. Last time I bring it up, Nicole, I promise.
It's done. It's over. It's over.
That's it. I believe it works out okay for Oklahoma in the end.
I was about to say, I had my bookends career. I was happy.
Happy to have you along for the ride, wherever you may be watching this tournament in Puerto Vallarta. Corey Brooks alongside the Oklahoma legend Nicole Mendez. Sarah Olson working ahead of the Liberty transfer Carly Keeney. It is impossible to tell that Carly Keeney broke her finger a few months ago. Chopped up. Tiare. Got it. Little stretch by Sanders.
Nice job by Jennings handling that hop. Took a little bit of funky hop there, but I mean, Olsen, she has some speed. Jennings barely got her out on that.
Keeney, no stranger to Nancy Amaraz Stadium. 22 innings pitched over the course of 4 appearances last year for the Flames. The car gives that one a lift to Riley Boone. Again, that is unreal positioning by Boone in left, and she's loving every bit.
I think that goes a long way. You have the 6-4-3 charts. You have synergy charts as a team. You're starting to look more into that data. You can see where hitters typically hit the ball on inside pitches, where they typically hit the ball on outside pitches. You can position yourselves accordingly.
Right place once again for Sid Sanders. 1-2. Four, 5, 6 here for OU, starting with the home run hitter today, Alyssa Brito. 1 of 2, the other is on deck in Sid Sanders. Brito watching ball 1.
We've seen today where different parts of this lineup have been effective, but pretty much since Barnett has stepped into the circle, with the exception of the home run by Sanders, it's been pretty quiet. Oklahoma has been going up and down relatively quickly, swinging early in the count.
A ride to and beyond the fence. It's a 2-home run day for Alyssa Brito.
And as I say that, Alyssa Brito blasts another home run off of Barnett. That one shot so far, the fan almost didn't catch it, almost went over his head. Nice hands out there, though. Watch this catch. Barehanded, too, might I add. Pretty impressive there by Brito, getting all of that one for Oklahoma.
Nearly took it to the second wall out there in center. And now Sanders watches strike 1. That was
Sanders
Avery
up in the
Hodge
box.
On deck. Rito had a 5 RBI game against Cal. That marks the high water mark for her, but she's got 4 today and will notch another career day and 2 home runs.
Before that home run, I was talking about how Oklahoma and Long Beach State, the last few innings have gone by relatively quickly. At-bats being over in just 2 to 3 pitches. And those swings have been, for both teams, I would say, just a little bit off as far as timing. The pitchers really doing the job, handling these hitters, keeping themselves ahead of whatever adjustments that they're trying to make. But
Sanders, good dive there by Bakar, but it will just miss the final glove of Lawhorn. Sid Sanders just finding the edge of leather today, but it's worked out for her. Second hit.
I know, have a lucky day, Sid Sanders. Take advantage of that right there.
Maya Bland will come in and run for her. And Avery Hodge will be the pinch hitter. So 2 changes for Oklahoma. And now it looks like it'll be 1 for the Beach as well. Kate Barnett, in her first full game, looked really, really good. Mo Quinlan, the wild card for Coach Souter, will come in and get warmed up.
Defensive change to the Beach. Now pitching. Number 21, Mo Quinlan.
So here's Mo Quinlan.
Running at first base, down number
3
12,
2/3
Mike
innings
Lyon.
last year for the Beach. Didn't go a ton, but Coach Souter said she's incredibly talented and could be one of the best pitchers in the Big West. But a full-on wild card, the lefty with a nasty changeup comes in and faces the pinch hitter Avery Hodge.
That lefty-lefty matchup right away.
Right towards her, Quinlan knocks it down, all she can do. Avery Hodge has her first hit.
See a smile from Quinlan. Waves off her teammate. It's okay. I got it. Next pitch, I got this one. Avery Hodge just enough out of that zone, right outside that circle. Of course, her speed gets her there.
Kinsey Hansen, along with Sanders, the only ones who solved the freshman Barnett prior to this inning. That's a great job behind the plate by Magadan. Came in talking about how there's an audition for catcher at the Beach. Magadan has clearly become the front runner with her performance in this game. Right now it's the OU catcher getting out of the way of one at Hansen.
Well, we talked about the lack of innings from Quinlan and maybe not getting as many as her potential might have, but I mean, the freshman Barnett, she hasn't had too many innings either. She did such a fantastic job shutting down Oklahoma's offense. Who knows?
one will miss. Kinsey Hansen works the walk, her second here in PV. And Ella Parker, maybe the front runner, or at least in the conversation, freshman of the year. They both might play for Oklahoma. She'll step in.
Kind of that point in the game where you expect to start to see some subs for some hitters, and this is a really, really good spot here for Parker. Her bat, her eye. She is going to be a really, really tough out as the season develops. She's going to be a really big force for Oklahoma.
She's a phenomenal athlete, as you've already seen, but for me, it's her 3 walks here at Nancy Almada Stadium that stand out. She just has such a high softball IQ, and no big surprise, she's been around the diamond a long time. Her uncle, Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers. And Ella's sister playing at GW. So, it runs in the genes, and accordingly, she's very much in the driver's seat now against Quinlan.
This is a 7th ball in a row. Working kind of fast here. You want to see her settle down, find the strike zone. That 7 turns into 8.
Not too many freshmen going to stand in there to walk in a run. Parker never moves. Here's Riley Ludlam. In a huge spot, the Beaches Bulldog will come out. One of their top returners, Erica Gonzalez, a 2.50 ERA in her 68 and a third innings pitched last year. Limited opponents to about a 240 opposing batting average. She comes in now to face Riley Ludlam. Seen Erica already, 3 and a third, conceding 3 hits, 2 runs, did also strike out 3. Right now, it is just a matter of getting outs, even if you give up a run. Bases loaded, nobody down, the single toughest position in the sport to come into.
I'm Long Beach right now. My pitching is going to be catered towards getting a ground ball. I want to turn to somewhere you have a lot of options. Bases are loaded, less than 2. You have a lot of options here for places that you can go if you can get a good, easy ground ball for your infield.
First pitch in, high and tight. It was a great triumphant return for Gonzalez. Took the 2022 season off and right back as a mainstay in this rotation for the Beach. Now against the transfer in Ludlam. Ludlam in Oklahoma, a match made perhaps even before Riley went in the portal. She was in summer league. She played in the Florida Gulf Coast League and worked with Shannon Sale. The OU connections are everywhere as that's in there for a strike. And right now, Ludlam doing great by her new team.
It's a nice screw there by Gonzalez, just a little bit on that inside corner, bleeding. Too much that late break movement.
Great hitters count. Riley just watches it go. Second straight run walked in.
24.
Kind of feels
Jada
like
Coleman is 0 for 3.
one hard hit here could really just blow this game out of the water. Long Beach State has done such a good job competing. Getting outs quickly is going to be the important key for them to try and stop the bleeding. Damage has already been done. Oklahoma now up by 4, but try and stop the bleeding.
Coleman might be due. High chop off the glove. Good step on second, and the Beach turns 2. Trade 1 run for 2 outs. That is a fine exchange for Long Beach.
Absolutely, and that was a great job following through by Bikar at shortstop. Coleman not happy with that result. She has the speed. She should be able to beat that out at first, but the way that they continue to move through, not just catch it off the glove, but continue to move through. 2 outs right there, and that saves a ton of damage. We were just talking about that.
Parker is 60 away with Tiare Jennings. That one in the dirt. This is the final game for Oklahoma here in Puerto Vallarta. They are off to the Cowgirl Challenge next, taking on Central Arkansas, McNeese State, and Lamar, before eventually opening Big 12 play, hosting Iowa State. Tiare Jennings to center field, and Tiare Jennings rounds them all. Her second home run in this tournament.
Tiare Jennings, whether she's out in front or completely on time, so much power behind her bat. One of the best to do it in a Sooner uniform. She's in that spot in the lineup for a reason, and that's exactly what Long Beach State was hoping to avoid as they came into this inning. Now you're talking run rule. Now you're talking one more run, and bottom of the 6th might be the last one for Long Beach State. They came into this inning tied 3-3 in the top of the 6th.
Pickering, though, will chop it over to Robbins to close the frames. But they went stride for stride in a way that not a lot of teams have over the course of this championship run for the Sooners.
Absolutely. I love their fight. I love their competitiveness, but you can feel Long Beach State deflated. Listen to how quiet it is in the stadium right now. But still, 2 innings left. You chip away, you chip away. It was just with one swing that they scored 2 runs.
Freshman Elena Terrones will step in for the Beach. This is an incredible experience for a newcomer. Begin your career in the best tournament field anywhere in the NCAA against the best team anywhere in the NCAA. Terrones hit it well, but Tiare Jennings has a wide range over at short.
Keeney, I've been so impressed with her. I was almost expecting to see her struggle with her command of her pitches, with her movement, just because she's been out awful long. But I think that speaks again to that mindset that she has of no matter what it is, I'm going to compete. If I'm at the top of my game, I'm going to compete. And I think her movement is already fantastic. So I'm excited to see what it looks like in March and April and May.
Yeah.
It's going to continue to get better and better and better. So I think Carly Keeney, I said this last year whenever she was with Liberty, I thought that she was a great pitcher. But you add the offense of Oklahoma and their defense behind her, and man, she's fantastic. I think she's going to be a big arm.
Yeah, she was a top 5 winner at Liberty, and that's a really, really good softball program with a lot of history. But when you talk about wins, you talk about run support. You're not going to do any better than this Oklahoma group. She'll be a huge piece between May
Talk about
returning
another-
and the addition.
Yeah.
Big time. Ceballos watches ball 1.
Also excited to watch Long Beach State as they continue later on into their season. It's still so early, but man, they've been competitive. They've had good swings. They've been getting contact. It's just a matter of getting comfortable with it, being able to make a little bit tighter pitch selections.
Good news for the Beach. You don't have to dwell on this one for too long. Less than 24 hours from now, it will start it up against Iowa State. It is an early ball game for those watching on the West Coast. 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. Punt never gets down for Chris Sweet.
Like the idea, though. Alyssa Brito back pretty deep. Caught the defense by surprise.
Oklahoma's first opponent in Big 12 play will be Iowa State. That is Long Beach's next opponent tomorrow morning.
Iowa State had some battles already so far this year. Nice pitch on that inside corner. That one helped out a little bit by Kinsey Hansen. But I think the Iowa State-Long Beach State game is going to be just a battle of wills between those two teams.
Tiara Jennings, limitless range. Iowa State and Long Beach State still have games today. We'll talk about that on the other side. For now, it is Oklahoma. So the Beach will utilize its entire rotation. Shannon Haddad will come in the ace. I expect we'll be seeing plenty more of her either tonight against Duke or tomorrow against Iowa State. But for now, she will go against the heart of this OU order, 4-5-6, scheduled for Patty Gasso's team.
And I think this will be a good warm-up for her to kind of get into that mindset, get that game spirit experience, especially whenever you play later in the evening. Whenever you sit around all day, it can be tough to move your body, get it ready, get it moving. So it's a good little movement session for here in the top of the 7th.
Again, still plenty of softball left to be played for the Beach here in PV. Tonight's game against Duke, a group that is playing as well as anyone, anywhere right now. And tomorrow against ISU, nothing but Power 5 competition on the slate for the Beach. A group that always plays a really good out-of-conference schedule, makes them better when Big West play comes around. But this might be another level entirely. OU, Duke, Iowa State, your final 3 games.
Yeah, but I mean, Coach talked about this is what she wants from her team. She wants them to be faced against this, to learn from them, to get those opportunities to hit off of those pitchers, to pitch against those caliber hitters. But I loved how she phrased this last part, but she also said she wanted her team to see what pace of the game they need to be at and learn how to be there. And I think that's such a big thing is the pace of softball is already so fast, but there's a different kind of pace. There's a different kind of intensity with those top teams. And sometimes whenever they're not quite at that level, it can feel a little suffocating. And I think that's an amazing way to grow your team, to push your team, is to constantly be putting them up against teams that have that.
Long Beach got to see it firsthand. The Big West champs went to the tournament. Now they try and recreate that feel in practice and in these games. As much returning experience as they have, Coach Stouter said you have to be able to use that experience when adversity strikes. While you obviously never want to be down, it's a part of every season. They're dealing with it right now. Brito was looking 5-6 hole. That sails a little too much air, and Brito takes second accordingly.
Everything seemed to go right for Oklahoma this game, getting a couple assists.
Yep.
Then we'll see Hannah Core step in. Give her an opportunity to get the bat off her shoulder, get off the bench. She's been looking good for Oklahoma this year. Coach Gasso talked about her being in the mix in the outfield. Possibly going to see her face in this preseason a little bit more.
Has already been on base after getting hit by a pitch. Eventually came around to score. Also swiped the bag. No return from injury. Limited to 3 total at-bats in her OU career. This is her third, and this is the first series for Oklahoma. On the Haddad Rise ball for a foul.
Spinal injury, so she came into Oklahoma with a lot of expectation. She is a great outfielder, lots and lots of speed, but just had some spinal issues, especially swinging with all the rotation. Caused some problems.
Although it's a testament to the greatness that is Oklahoma softball. She had the injury, she hasn't been in the lineup a ton, and she still scored 3 runs in 3 Women's College World Series games.
Absolutely. Dad, nice job working up in the zone, up. I feel something lower in the zone coming, maybe like something tumbling.
Like that. A
There
little
it
too low
is.
from a dad, though.
But right idea. It's all about changing the speed, changing the eye line. I feel like I'm going to say it until I'm blue in the face, but that is so important as a pitcher to keep hitters off balance.
Tell you what, when you've guessed pitches today, I think you're pretty close to batting 1,000. Absolutely locked in on the scout all day.
I just think that it's the reps that you get from being in the box so many years, watching softball, watching film, getting to know pitchers' tendencies, getting to know the feel of the game. It's an instinct and you got to trust it.
If you don't know, you can look it up, but that was a pretty good hitting instinct for Oklahoma's Nicole Mendez.
Well, thank you.
Hey, you earned it. Hannah Core earning it right now. Ready to shoot. The car makes the play. Maybe to answer right back after that ball sailed. Secure the out.
And see Haddad, calm, cool, collected. Hit low a couple times and back up in the zone, getting core to pop up. When coach was talking about her, they were saying she's such a workhorse. She's a perfectionist. She loves to learn the game. She loves to get better, to be able to perfect her craft. And I just love pitchers like that, when they not just work hard, but they have that yearning to understand the game, to understand the feel, the tempo, the pace, to be able to understand how their pitches move around.
Because the beach is so routinely here on Flow, whether it be right here in Puerto Vallarta or in a couple of weeks at Mary Nutter, we've gotten to watch Shannon's entire career and that continual growth. Started at San Jose State. She was outstanding, all Mountain West. And she goes from all Mountain West to all Big West. She is everything you want in your ace. Hodge pops. Medellin ranges over and makes the sweet grab.
Man, for the right fielder to come all the way in, make that catch, and then also be aware enough to keep an eye out for the runner at second, make sure they're not advancing. Nice play. Been saying that right field has been a hot spot for a lot of balls today.
It has.
Not just today, but this weekend. Right field and first base.
Mm-hmm. And when we inevitably cut together the full highlight reel of this tournament here at Flow, it's going to be a lot of unreal defensive plays, and the majority of them will definitely be at the 9 and 3 spots. Speaking of 9, here's Kinsey Hansen. Cassie Camus checks the armband behind the plate. Dad comes home with one inside. That catches the zone.
Kinsey Hansen not expecting that, but I like the way she carved that corner. And then that pitch on the corner called for a strike, allows her to go a little bit farther inside, and Hansen, wanting to protect the plate, swings after that one, foul. Let's see if I can keep batting 1,000. You go in on Hansen twice, 2 strikes back to back. Are you going to go outside, or would you go up in the zone? I'm thinking up in the zone.
It started there, but it dropped a bit right into the wheelhouse of Kinsey Hansen. It's an RBI for the Oklahoma catcher.
I think that's where that off the balance goes. You have one of the best catchers behind the plate. Now in the box, she knows what pitching coaches are thinking. She knows the obvious choice, and I think that's why maybe up in the zone might have been the better spot, but kudos to Kinsey Hansen, getting her hands there, being able to get out in front.
Ella Parker whips that thing into right. Hansen heads to third. So OU does eventually get to the 8-run differential and still maybe more, but Long Beach, as designated home side, still gets to play the bottom half no matter what. So they'll get their hacks in against this great OU pitching staff. Riley Ludlam had the RBI walk when she came in for her pinch hit bid. Boone re-enters and watches ball 1. I'll give you some prep time for this one, Nicole. So I'll ask you now, and we'll get your answer in the bottom half. But after this game, the all-tournament team members for Oklahoma will be announced. And obviously, you could probably pick 6. So let's say you limit it to 2. And you can give us who you think it'll be when we get to the bottom half here.
Off the top of my head, I have to go Alyssa Brito. I want to pick Riley Boone, but I think they'll pick Tiari Jennings. I think it'll be Jennings and Brito.
Didn't even wait for the bottom half. There's the answer. Didn't need the lead time.
If I had to pick 2. Great pitch there. Dad, that off-speed backdoor. Or curveball, sorry.
Obviously, there's just so many choices, but you are limited because there have been some incredible performances from the Washington Huskies, from the Duke Blue Devils. It has been just a really, really well-played tournament. Riley Boone lifting it to right where Medellin calls and holds. Oklahoma adds 1 more. We go to the bottom of the 7th. She was the first transfer into OU a year ago. She began her career here, 7 2/3 shutout with the Wisconsin Badgers. Parker coming into the game and staying over at first base.
17. Peyton Monticelli. And Cora out to right field.
Monticelli behind the dish.
And Cora also heads out to right field. Monticelli's first pitch to foul territory. Parker comes into the game and immediately makes a rangy defensive play.
How's that for some newcomers? Hey, you pitch the ball and I'll catch it for you.
Carly Robbins back in the lineup. She re-entered after being pinch hit for by Barajas. We look ahead a little bit. Take a short break in between our morning and afternoon sessions, and then around 4 Central Time, Washington and Iowa State. That is a Huskies team, Nicole, that is going to come in angry after they feel they should have beaten OU last night.
Absolutely. Chip on their shoulder for sure. And this is one of the best Washington teams that I've seen in a while. Don't get me wrong, they've been good before, but this is looking like a 2019 championship, World Series, top 2 type team. They are good this year.
Don't have the numbers they normally do, but Coach Tar has honed a fantastic starting lineup. That's inside. Once you get to Oklahoma City.
Great battle here by Robbins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you get 1 or 2, and then you get buy-in from at least 5 girls on the team, and man, it changes the way things feel on a team.
Robbins does reach. The beach not going to go quiet.
Robbins, she battled a couple, was down 0-2 pretty much right away. Fouled it off, being able to battle. Learning how to be tough in preseason, it makes you that much more in postseason. And I think of what the body feels like in postseason for a team, how tired you can get, how mental. There's finals, there's postseason, there's just straight up exhaustion. There's a lot of things that revolve around that time in season for softball, and those teams that are mentally tough, those players that are mentally tough, they've kind of hardened their minds and been able to grind their way through things, they tend to see a lot more success. And Long Beach State, they have a tough preseason, but it's going to make them a lot tougher in postseason.
Magadan re-entered the game. Throw to first is not in time. Still alive is the Beach. No doubt it is a mental game, especially when you get to Oklahoma City, a championship mindset even, hence the name of the web series for Oklahoma, which has been a blast to watch. First pitch swing. Sarah Olson and the Beach look to build momentum for their second top 10 matchup of the day. They will take on Duke around 6:30.
Olson, she's been great at bat so far this game. Walked her second at bat, but the other 2 times had some hard hits that have gotten her on base, especially with runners on. Again, like you said, Long Beach State, they're not wanting to go quietly just because it's bottom of 7th. They're going to want to get every single run, make the most of every single at bat. They're not giving up or surrendering anything, not even a pitch.
Beach down to 1 more strike. Lifted up and back. Phenomenal tournament.
Again, there's that
for the Oklahoma Sooners.
There's that fight and that battle from Olson. Staying in this at bat.
Olson continuing to fight. This will be win number 57 in a row for Oklahoma.
And I do think that what Oklahoma has been able to accomplish last year was phenomenal, but being able to set that aside and treat this year as its own is just as important moving on. They're a different team this year. A lot of transfers, a lot of freshmen coming in to make the impact. So being able to make this their team this year, 2024, is going to be so important as they move forward. And they've done a great job establishing that this year.
Chopped foul. Patty Gasso said it simply. She told her team, don't miss the moment. Don't start getting ahead, looking forward to what's on the horizon. Enjoy each as it comes. And they have clearly had a blast here in Puerto Vallarta to the tune of a 4-0 start. Chopped over. Hodge takes the short flip. The chase for 8 begins with an undefeated weekend. The back-to-back-to-back champions look as good as ever. Long Beach